Hi everyone, it's Cal from Cal's Class. How you all keeping? Hope you're all right. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. We're just going to go with the flow, as they say, and see how we go. Hopefully this will record. I'm not worried about the recording, it's the uploading. You probably all, if you've seen my community posts, I'm having trouble uploading my floss tube. Now, if you've not been here before, sorry, hi. In case I didn't say it. Usually I upload my floss tube on a Friday. For some reason it keeps failing at 95%. It processes, you know, I export, what's the word, not export, render it on VideoPad. Never had any problems before. Render it, put it up for processing, fine. Uploads, great. Processing to 95% and then fail. I've tried it about 14 times now through VideoPad. I've tried it twice through YouTube's own app and it still gets a 95. I've put it on Millie's laptop, put KineMaster on her Chromebook, tried it from that. Well, we couldn't even get it to upload on there at all. It took like an hour for it to export on there. And then it did want to upload. So we're really at a loss because I can't, stupidly, I never ever delete the films usually off my camera until it's uploaded onto YouTube. For some God no reason yesterday, I did. One and only time that I do, so I can't get it from my computer back to my phone. We managed to put it on a USB stick to get it to Millie's Chromebook. But if I want to try and put it on my phone, it can take between 12 and 15 hours. Maybe longer, and it could still fail. Yeah. So I'm doing Meets reading. And I don't want to re-record it because it was packages that I'd open live on the channel. Yeah, so I was a bit unhappy. So I thought, well, I'll do a whip and chat on my phone. And then some of the girls on Facebook, on the YouTube Facebook creators page, very kindly, I put out a help me please, and they give me some sites that they use. So I'm going to try that through this whip and chat on that. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. Because I've worked so hard to get it to this stage of getting into a routine, making the films, uploading them, well, linking, editing them, uploading them, well, rendering them, uploading them, and all this processing. I spent since 12 o'clock yesterday. I went to bed at 1 o'clock this morning, absolutely knackered. Couldn't do any more, couldn't focus, nothing. I was up at 7:30 this morning on it again, and I'm still no further along. So I have no idea why it's keeps saying that. Even on the Chromebook it said that it'd get to that far and it wouldn't go any further. So I don't know, and I don't know why. I wouldn't mind if it said failed and said why it failed. That's what's really winding me up, is the fact it just keeps saying fail. Or it's 95% processed and it's just a spinny wheel. And I've been on Google and all that, looking at all that, and tried all these things that people said, and none of it works. There's a load of bollocks. Most of it. It says, oh, you've got this button on there and you've got that on there. And I said, nope, I've not got any of that on mine. It's so easy. You just press this and then it finishes loading and processing. Nope, not on mine. Yeah, so I'm a little bit peeved. And then this morning I nearly had a car accident. My fault entirely. Dog was going to go to the groomers for 11 o'clock. I had to take some documents with me. The girls were arguing and fighting. I tried to get the dog's, she's got one of these special collars on, you know, that lasts for 8 months for the fleas and the ticks and everything else. So I went to pull that, only got her throat caught in it, literally. The fur and the skin of her throat all caught into it, and I couldn't undo it. So I'm trying to peel some of that out without hurting it, and trying to cut the bits I could cut to get the collar off, which then made us late. Then I realised as I'd gone off the estate that I hadn't got her paperwork that I need to take with me today. So I raced back. Can you see what I'm doing? I raced back and I come a different way into the estate, and there's one blind spot where there's this hedge. And I know it's there. And I just went to pull out and there was a car coming. It was a neighbour of mine, Jerry. Lucky enough, we missed each other. How the bloody hell. She swerved one way, I swerved the other. It would have been my fault. Well, it shook her up, it shook me up. So that wasn't very good. I went done my shopping and picked up a couple of bottles of wine. One for her and one for me. I mean, she was very, very thing about it. I sent her a message to apologise profusely. You know, I know it was my fault. And I'm sure, don't worry about it. She did scare the pants off me, she said, but, you know, it's easy done. Oh, can you hear the cat now? If it isn't the cat, it's the dog. If it's not the dog, it's the cat. If it's not the cat, it's the children. Do you want to go out? Sorry, peeps, the cat wanted to go out then. She couldn't have gone out when, you know, the back door was wide open. Now I've shut the back door. She's decided, no, I want to go out now to disturb it. Yes, I'm not having a good 24 hours. And hubby's away at his first craft fair, as one has been allowed. And he said, don't stress about anything. Just chill out. Do some crafting. He said, have a nice quiet day. Yeah, right. It has been bedlam. So, well, you're not going to see if it doesn't go up. You won't be any wiser, but I'll have to put some messages up if I still can't get this one to load. And I don't know what I'll do then. Because I think it doesn't help that my laptop is old now, so we thought that's probably what it is that's stopping it. But as we say, we're trying to do it off the Chromebook, and it still won't let it off the Chromebook. And I can't get it off the Chromebook onto my phone. And the one app that took an hour and a half to process the videos, then I realised you can't upload off this video editing app. So I wasted all that time for nothing. Yeah, because you have to do everything all over again. So please, you know, if you see, you know, a YouTube video that isn't, you know, you think it's not best quality, or it's a bit, hasn't been edited fully, or it hasn't, you know, could have been shorter or longer, just feel sorry for the poor person, video creator that's doing it, because sometimes we go through hell and back to try and get these videos up. Like Millie said, start again, and I said no, because one, that I opened stuff live on the video, but two, I've made more progress yesterday because I was so long in here. I've done a load of progress on a couple of them, of my cross stitches. So I said, you know, I was so proud that they've especially the one that I'd just be able to show you next week how well I've done. I said, it's just put everything in the pickle. It has. Anyway, rant over. So please be nice. So what's been going on? Well, I didn't do a whip and chat last week because we went to Cornwall, which was absolutely gorgeous. We had a bit of a hiccup there as well because all the service stations aren't open till, one was open at 7 and one was open at 6. Well, the one we got at 2 at 5:30 in the morning, because Grant had to be near his, start his job between 9 and 5:30. So we'd left home at 2:30 in the morning, got to the first service station. They did have toilets open but nothing to drink, so we said, right, we'll go on to the next one. Got to the next one, that wasn't open till 8 o'clock. So we ended up nearly travelling the whole way to Cornwall service station before we could have a wee and a drink. And we got there at 20 to 8 in the morning, so we still had to wait 20 minutes before we could have a wee and a drink. But it was still nice. It was nice to get out the house, to be truthful, because I hadn't been anywhere with it for over 100 and something odd days. Apart from Tesco's and back, that's been about it. So we had a really nice time. We did the job, and usually we stay and have a cup of coffee and have a chat because they're self-isolating as well. It was just, hi, how are you? Yeah, that's great. Job's done. Nice to see you. Bye. So we were able to go into St Ives a bit earlier than normal, which is nice because we took the doggy. So we showed the doggy all the sights, and all the shops were open. They're only like little shops, but they were nice to have a look at a few of them. So we did that. Back to the hotel for a while, and then we went down onto took the dog down on the beach in sort of about 6 o'clock. And then they wanted a McDonald's for tea, so we got a takeaway McDonald's and ate that in the room, which was very nice. And the following morning I forgot to fill my pens. We got up early in the morning, and they had a, what's it called, not a bucket, box breakfast, which was this shitty bowl of container thing with cornflakes in, which got no taste whatsoever, so I don't like them. Artificial milk to go on them, a little tiny carton of artificial orange juice, a chocolate something or the other, a bit like a croissant with chocolate in, that was rock hard, you could feel it through the paper, and a flapjack that was anemic. Oh, there, that's it. Jessie's just showed me one of those. Yeah, and it's hard. It's in the box. I must throw it out. And a flapjack that was a bit, yeah. So nobody wanted that breakfast. So I'd spent £21 on breakfast nobody could eat. So we ended up going to Starbucks and having a drive-through because that was next door. But hey-ho, you live and learn. So I said I will never have a box breakfast again. And of course we taken the dog, and it was a very nice hotel. It was a Travelodge. It was very nice, very comfortable, very clean, you know, and it was nice to be able to take the dog with us for a change. I'm gonna find one that's actually got anything in it. I think I cleaned most of these out. So it was nice to take Lily, and she absolutely loved it. She didn't know. She didn't sleep, I think, hardly the whole time we were there, even when we were in the hotel room. She did bark a little bit, only because she thought people were trying to get in the room because they're so noisy when they're going past. But once she realised they were actually going past the room, she was fine. And then once she got used to them, people walking up and down the hallway, she was fine then. But she's never experienced anything like that before. So, and then she slept, switched up to me, and in between me and her dad. And then on the way back, you could see she wanted to go to sleep, but she was so interested in what was going on outside. The little head was bopping up and down, and you'd have to have the window open so she could stick her head out the window and have a snifter of what was going on. She was so funny. But it was lovely being able to take her, because I've wanted to take her for a long time, because we usually stay in the Premier Inn, which don't allow dogs, but they're not open anyway at the moment. But this Travelodge is only across the road from where we used to stay in the Premier Inn, so that wasn't too bad. And then we just travelled straight back then and got back home about 2:30 in the afternoon. So we literally only gone like 36 hours and travelled about 600 miles, I think, so in that time there and back, which was fine. Yeah, so we did that. Booked Joshua in for his haircut because his hair is so long in the front. He had 2 days of training for this caring job that he's got, so he's done that this week. So he just had to send some more documentation off yesterday when he got back. So hopefully now he'll start getting a few shifts before he goes to uni in September, which would be nice. Get a little bit of his own money in his pocket. Because it must be awful having to rely on your mum at 18, because there's no jobs out there. I mean, he very rarely asks. I mean, he's gone to give him a little bit today to go to the seaside with his mate. They're just driving there and going to have a Starbucks and have a walk round, and just to get him out of the town. But he was very grateful, you know, that I'd give him something. Bless him. Oh, excuse me, that's the cat's just come up on my cross-stitch bag I made. The one with the, what's it called? Not lining. It's got fleece, not fleece, like quilted stuff. Quilted one. She likes sitting on there because it throws back the heat, I suppose, on her. So she crouches up there, and yeah. Oh, Lily's been for a haircut today, and oh my gosh, she smells so nice. She's only trimmed around her face. She didn't trim the fur on her body, apart from her legs and under her belly and her bits and around her back end, and her face. But she's left her coat because her coat hadn't really grown that much, so she's left that. And oh, she looks lovely, and she smells so nice. Smells of baby powder. But she's gone off somewhere now, sulking, because I've run out of her chicken, because she has to have fresh chicken every day because of her pancreas. And I ran out yesterday, and of course I haven't had a car for a couple of days because that's been in for its MOT. So when I walked up there, I forgot to get her chicken, and I wasn't walking back up there because it's well over nearly 3/4 of a mile probably. So I wasn't walking back up there again. So she's been a bit annoyed with her mommy. We've got some now, so she's got a full belly, so she's just probably gone off to sleep under the bed, or on the bed with Millie. Millie's up there doing something. Oh, no, Molly's down. You going on the camel saddle? She'll probably start scratching now to go out. You understand where people say don't work with children and animals around you, because they're a nightmare. Yeah, good news with my mum. She's finally gone into a care home. She went Thursday. Not the one that we wanted. She's like 31 miles from my dad and 41 miles from me. So it's going to be a long journey going up and seeing her. We're not allowed to see her for 2 weeks because Dad's been seeing her for about 10-20 minutes over the last couple of weeks. But she's going to be 2 weeks in isolation. She's had the coronavirus test, which she's clear from. And then we're allowed to go and see her for half an hour a week at the moment. But I'm hoping by the time the 2 weeks is up, that might change a bit, and that will be only seeing her outside with face masks galore. So you can imagine my dad was devastated yesterday. We got to see my sister though yesterday. He went and sat in their garden. He said she hadn't got a clue who he was like, but he said it was just nice sitting there and just talking to her, though she didn't understand really what he was saying, but he said he knew what he was saying to her. So they've allowed him to go and see her, being the dad. I can't go and see her yet, but that's understandable. Dad needs to see her more than what I do. Excuse me, that's the cat. I told you, wasn't it? Do you want to go out now as well? Go on then. This is life, everybody. This is my life. Honestly. I keep it real here, and I'm not going to edit all that out, because if I get this to load, I'm not going to fiddle. If I can get this to load at all, I will be happy. So I'm not going to do a long one, because I am so tired. It's unreal. Mentally and physically, I think. You know, with everything. I got to speak to my mum on Wednesday. She went Thursday. I got to speak to her Wednesday afternoon and reassure her and everything of where she was going and all that. So that was nice. So I got to speak to her before she went. But I do miss her. Miss her terrible. I said I had to go through this with my sister, and now I'm going through it with my mum. It's a lot to take in sometimes. Some days I'm fine, and other days I'll have a good old cry, and then I'm okay again. But I need to be strong, because I need to be the one that's doing all the paperwork and conferences and talks and all that, with back and forth with all the different people involved. I'm trying to get them to, because the next thing is sorting out a pension, because they have so much of her pension, but at the moment her pension gets paid into their joint account, so I've got to figure out where her pension's got to be paid and how do we transfer the money that she will need in the home to buy her shampoos, soaps and all that, although we bought her a load, and where who has the £65 they want off her. I think they have 65, and then leaves her with something like £20, is it a week or something like that, to get all her bits and pieces and whatever she wants and clothes and stuff. Not that she's going to want to, because she hasn't got no idea whatsoever. So I've got to try and sort that. So I have sent some emails off to the people in Powys, the government, to see what's going on, but it's so slow getting back. Oh shoot, look at that, it's getting back to me. I haven't heard anything yet. See, I can't even put them in the pot, so I don't know. There you go. So me and Millie just did a big shop. Oh, that was another thing that went wrong this week, the freezer. Millie wants to earn, well, she's had some money in advance for something, and she said, right, to pay it back, she wanted to do some chores. So she likes defrosting the freezer, the chest freezer, which I hate, but she likes it. She finds it very therapeutic, eating hell out of the ice and then getting the hairdryer in there and whatever. And she does an absolutely fantastic job. Loaded back, we got rid of the stuff that we thought, well, no, we're not going to use that anymore, or we don't like it anymore. So we got rid of what we wanted and whatever. Put it all back in. And then the following day in the afternoon, I went to get something, and I realised she hadn't switched it back on. So she was so upset. My dad turned up there when she was crying, and I said, oh, you know, it's easy done, don't worry about it, we'll sort out. Lucky enough, the very bottom layer was okay, but everything else we had to get rid of. So I cooked up what I could, and then the rest I just binned. I said, you know, it's just one of those things, Mel, don't worry about it. She was so upset. Well, bless my dad, he said, I'm just going to get some diesel while you sorted all that, I'll be back. I said, yeah, all right, I'll put the kettle on. He came back with 2 bags of frozen stuff, bless him. He said, I can't have my little girl, he said, upset. I said, oh, Dad, you don't have to do that. Let me pay for you. He said, no. He said, this is mine to you lot, he said. I was very gracious. I said, oh, that's so nice. He was so upset though to see Millie upset. But I said, it's just one of those things that happen. We've all done something similar at one time or another. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a week of disasters this week. So I'm hoping next week will be a bit better. And I was so chuffed as well, because last night I sussed how to stitch 28 count Lugana. As long as I've got my overhead ring light on, and it's actually shining down onto what I'm working on, I can see to do it. So I did a fair bit. I probably did about 350 stitches last night, which probably doesn't sound a lot to you, but that's a lot to me. Because usually I do about 50 stitches at a time, if that, on anything. That was on 14 count. So I was quite chuffed with myself. I thought that was the cat scratching to come back in. I was going to say, are you joking me? So I thought I'd just film this, do a little bit on this, try and upload this from my phone using the app that's been recommended. I mean, the one that I'm using on my computer, and I'm going back to that, is one I pay for. This is why I'm so that it takes so long and I'm paying every month for it. And I've looked and I can't see that this, like if I chuck this computer, then I've got no way of finding how to, if I reload that app on something else, to say that I've paid for it. So I'd have to start all over again, which I don't think is very good. So I'm not happy with that either. So I think if you buy something, then you should be able to, if your device goes AWOL, then you should be able to have an account where you can reload it onto. Oh, and I'm talking things, I have got Pattern Keeper. Well, I've got it for a trial to start with, but I'm definitely getting it because I love it. So I've got my Pandemic on there, and I got my crossword, both from Long Dog Sampler, on there. So I'm going to keep that app because I like that app a lot. Right, is that all the number 9s? So how many minutes have we got on there? We've got 25. So if I leave it there, try and upload that, see if what it's like doing it this way. And then if I can't upload, if I can't do anything with that floss tube, then I am going to have to, I don't know whether to leave it. What do you think? Should I leave it till next week and redo the stuff next week? But I've got to flip through this week and I've got to flip through next week. Or shall I do it and then put it up anyway? I don't know, decisions. Let me know. Shall I do another one if I can't get this one to load up, or shall I just leave it? I don't know. And some of these are popping as well, which is, yeah. Roll on 6 o'clock and open a bottle of wine. At the moment I haven't got wine, I've got hot juice. Oh, so nice. And I got some lovely gifts sent in the post, which I showed as well on my floss tube, to do with, well, when you see it, you'll know why it was on my floss tube. So I'll love you and leave you. See, I didn't even put my foxes out. That's how stressed I am today. But hey-o, it comes to us all. So please, look after yourselves. Most importantly, take care and stay safe. And I appreciate each and every one of you that come in and watch my channel. I love you all dearly. Take care.